From a very young age, Solan knew that dancing was more than just a hobby. It was his passion, his escape, and the purest expression of his soul. While other kids in his neighborhood spent their afternoons playing football or video games, Solan would lock himself in his room, put on his favorite music, and let his body move freely to the rhythm. The world outside would fade away, and for those precious moments, he felt truly alive. Growing up in a rough neighborhood, however, meant that pursuing such a passion came with its own set of challenges. The local culture was steeped in traditional masculinity, and any deviation from the norm was met with ridicule and disdain. Solan's love for dance made him a target for bullies who saw his passion as a weakness, something to be mocked and belittled. In school, things were no different. His classmates would snicker as he walked down the halls, whispering cruel jokes and sometimes even tripping him as he passed by. Despite the negativity, Solan refused to give up on what he loved. He would spend hours watching dance videos online, teaching himself new moves, and dreaming of performing on big stages. Dance was his sanctuary, and no amount of bullying could take that away from him. When Solan reached college, he hoped that things would change, that people would be more accepting and open-minded. Unfortunately, old patterns persisted. While there were a few supportive individuals, the majority still clung to their prejudices. He tried joining the college dance club, but even there, he faced subtle forms of exclusion and mockery. The constant negativity began to wear him down, and for the first time, he questioned whether he should continue pursuing his dream. One evening, after a particularly harsh encounter with a group of bullies who had followed him from campus, Solan found himself sitting alone in his small apartment, feeling utterly defeated. He scrolled mindlessly through his social media feed, trying to distract himself from the pain, when he stumbled upon a video titled "The Power of Imagination, Neville Goddard's Technique." Intrigued, Solan clicked on the video. For the next hour, he listened intently as the speaker explained Neville Goddard's teachings. The idea that one's imagination could shape reality, that by vividly envisioning your desires and truly believing in them, you could manifest them into existence. The concept was both foreign and fascinating to Solan. Could it really be that simple? Could his thoughts and beliefs truly transform his life? Eager to learn more, Solan dove deep into researching Neville Goddard's techniques. He read articles, watched more videos, and even downloaded some of Goddard's books onto his tablet. The more he learned, the more hopeful he became. This was a new approach, a new way to reclaim control over his life and pursue his dreams despite the obstacles. That night, Solan decided to put the technique into practice. He sat comfortably on his bed, closed his eyes, and began to visualize. He pictured himself performing on a grand stage, the spotlight shining down as he moved effortlessly to the music. He felt the heat of the lights, heard the applause of the audience, and experienced the exhilaration of doing what he loved without fear or judgment. He imagined receiving a letter from a prestigious dance school, inviting him to join their ranks after discovering his talent. He held on to that feeling of joy and accomplishment, letting it wash over him completely before drifting off to sleep. In the days that followed, Solan made it a nightly ritual to practice this visualization. Each time, he added more details, seeing himself training with renowned instructors, making friends who shared his passion, and even teaching others the art of dance. He didn't just see these images, he felt them deeply, allowing the emotions to permeate his entire being. Alongside his nightly practices, Solan began to take small, actionable steps toward his dream. He started recording videos of himself dancing and posted them on various social media platforms. At first, he was hesitant, worried about negative comments and further ridicule. But he reminded himself of his visualizations and the reality he wanted to create. To his surprise, the response was overwhelmingly positive. Strangers from around the world left encouraging comments, praising his talent and passion. Each like, share, and comment boosted his confidence, reaffirming his belief in himself and his dreams. As weeks turned into months, Solan's online presence grew steadily. His videos began to garner thousands of views, and he even gained a modest following of people who eagerly awaited his next performance. The support from this online community was a stark contrast to the negativity he faced in his daily life, and it became a source of strength and motivation for him. One afternoon, as Solan was checking his emails between classes, he noticed a new message in his inbox. The subject line read, "Opportunity at Aurora Dance Academy." His heart skipped a beat as he clicked on it, hands trembling with anticipation. The email was from the director of Aurora Dance Academy, a well-respected dance school located just a couple of towns over. The director, Ms. Alara Kingsley, wrote about how she had come across Solan's videos on social media and was thoroughly impressed by his talent and passion. She expressed interest in meeting him in person and invited him to audition for their upcoming semester. Furthermore, she mentioned the possibility of a part-time job assisting with beginner classes to help support his studies. Solan reread the email multiple times, disbelief and joy swirling inside him. This was exactly what he had been visualizing night after night. It felt surreal, almost magical, that his dreams were unfolding so precisely. Tears of happiness welled up in his eyes as he quickly typed out a grateful and enthusiastic response, accepting the invitation and setting up a date for the audition. In the days leading up to the audition, Solan threw himself into preparation. He choreographed a unique routine that showcased his versatility and emotion, spending hours perfecting each movement. Despite the excitement, nerves occasionally crept in, but he used Neville Goddard's techniques to keep himself centered and focused. He continued his visualizations, now imagining himself nailing the audition and being accepted into the academy. When the day of the audition arrived, Solan traveled to the Aurora Dance Academy with a mix of excitement and anxiety. The building itself was stunning, a modern structure with large glass windows that allowed sunlight to flood the spacious studios inside. As he walked through the doors, he felt a sense of belonging he had never experienced before. He was greeted warmly by Ms. Kingsley, a graceful woman with a kind smile and an air of elegance. She led him to one of the studios where a panel of instructors awaited, all eager to see what he had to offer. Solan took a deep breath, positioned himself in the center of the room, and let the music guide him. As he danced, everything else faded away. He poured his heart and soul into the performance, conveying his passion through every leap, turn, and expression. When the music ended, the room was silent for a moment before erupting into applause. The panelists exchanged impressed glances, and Ms. Kingsley approached him with a smile brighter than before. "That was absolutely breathtaking, Solan," she said warmly. "We would be honored to have you join our academy." Relief and joy washed over him, and he couldn't help but smile widely. They discussed the details of his enrollment, and true to her word, Ms. Kingsley also offered him a part-time job assisting with beginner classes. It was the perfect opportunity. Not only would he be able to learn and grow as a dancer, but he would also gain valuable teaching experience and financial support. Over the next few months, Solan's life transformed dramatically. He moved to a small apartment closer to the academy, immersing himself fully in his new environment. The academy was everything he had dreamed of and more. The instructors were supportive and challenging, pushing him to refine his technique and explore new styles. His classmates were diverse and passionate, creating a community where he felt accepted and valued for the first time in his life. Working as an assistant teacher also proved to be incredibly rewarding. He loved sharing his knowledge and enthusiasm with the younger students, watching them discover the joy of dance just as he had. The experience boosted his confidence and reinforced his sense of purpose. Meanwhile, his social media presence continued to grow. Videos of his performances and classes at the academy attracted even more attention, leading to collaborations with other dancers and invitations to perform at various events. Solan was living the life he had always dreamed of, and it all felt wonderfully surreal. One day, as Solan was leaving the academy after a long day of rehearsals and classes, he received a message from an old classmate from college. It was someone who had once been among those who mocked and belittled him. The message was unexpected and heartfelt, offering an apology for past behavior and expressing admiration for Solan's achievements and talent. Similar messages followed from others in his past, acknowledging their wrongdoings and praising his success. Solan accepted their apologies graciously, realizing that holding on to resentment would only hinder his growth. He felt a profound sense of closure, understanding that his journey had not only transformed his own life, but had also impacted those around him, inspiring change and introspection. As years went by, Solan continued to flourish. He graduated from the Aurora Dance Academy with top honors and went on to perform with renowned dance companies around the world. He eventually founded his own dance studio, dedicated to providing a safe and nurturing environment for aspiring dancers from all backgrounds. His story became a source of inspiration for many, demonstrating the power of perseverance, self-belief, and the incredible potential of Neville Goddard's teachings. Looking back, Solan often marveled at how far he had come. From the lonely boy dancing in his bedroom, facing ridicule and bullying, to a celebrated dancer and mentor. He knew that his journey was a testament to the power of imagination and the unwavering pursuit of one's dreams. Through the challenges and triumphs, he had learned that reality is truly shaped by our beliefs, and that with passion, dedication, and the right mindset, anything is possible. On the anniversary of his acceptance into the Aurora Dance Academy, Solan stood on the stage of his own studio, watching his students perform with joy and confidence. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for every experience that had led him to this moment. As the music filled the room and the dancers moved with grace and enthusiasm, Solan knew that he had not only manifested his own dreams, but was now helping others to do the same.